Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our orientation live session. If you're expecting to start in July, you're in the right place. We have a combination of all different programs here, from culinary, pastry to plant-based. So welcome. We're super excited to see you. My name is Chef Brandon Esparza. I'm a graduate of the Baking and Pastry Arts program here. Helping me host tonight's session is a whole team of orientation chefs ready to assist you along your journey. We're actually going to hear from them in just a few moments, so I won't introduce them just yet, but let me show you what you can expect from tonight's session over the next 45 minutes. Okay, there we go. So tonight we're going to meet the orientation team. Now, this entire team is built up of Escoffier graduates, Escoffier alumni they've been through various programs and are going through what you're about to embark on, or have been through what you're about to start. So we'll meet them. We'll go over what orientation is, what you want to work on to get prepared so you can start your program smoothly and with confidence without any stress or worry. We want you guys to feel prepared and ready to start. That includes taking care of some of the orientation tasks and some activities you can participate in to help you get prepared that much more. All right, so to start off, we're going to do some housekeeping with some Zoom etiquette. So while on Zoom with Escoffier in your Escoffier classes, as much as is possible, be in a learning environment free of distractions. If there's a lot going on, you're going to miss some of the content, and those class times are so important. You don't want to miss anything there. Um, so I know we're learning from the comfort of our own homes, and sometimes distractions are just part of our environment, right? But as much as is possible, trying to be in a place where you can focus and concentrate. Now, we ask for no eating, smoking, vaping, or alcoholic beverages while on Zoom. Remember, this is a professional learning environment, so I do ask you show up professionally. If you do happen to be eating because it's your dinner time right now, that's totally fine. Just keep your camera off and pop it back on once you're done. As far as cameras go, they're not required to be on. We do encourage you to stay on camera though, because we do like seeing your faces, but totally okay if you need to keep it off for now. Stay muted. These sessions are recorded, so as a courtesy to our classmates or instructors presenting, just stay muted, as Zoom crosstalk can often like overlap really messily, and we'd miss some of the content there. But you can use the chat and emoji reactions like a lot of you have been doing already, introducing yourselves in there, saying where you're from. That's awesome. If you have questions, throw them in there too. Again, we have a team of chefs here tonight ready to meet you guys and answer any questions you have. All right, and take notes. Taking notes is good reference for later, especially as we give you an overview of what to do for orientation. You can start forming that task list and make sure you have that process down. If you're on a mobile device and joining from your phone, you can actually turn the device sideways or into landscape view for best viewing, especially when it comes to these slides. You can also pinch in on or pinch out on your phone to zoom in on some of the slides if you are joining from mobile. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started and introduce you to our orientation team. Every single person on this team graduated with high honors. That means a 4.0 GPA. So we know the recipe for success here. We know what works in the program, and we want to share with you those tips and tricks to achieve your own academic goals here and ultimate professional goals. So, we have various chefs from the pastry arts program. We have Chef Jason with the plant-based program. Chef Stacy and Chef Scott are also with culinary. So we have various backgrounds, lots of different skill sets and expertise here. All right, I'm actually going to go over Chef Scott's slide. He is not here tonight, but I still wanted to let you guys know who he is. So this is Chef Scott. He graduated with his associate's degree in the culinary arts program, and he was actually a scuba instructor before deciding to become a chef. So really awesome background there. And he was a chef at a fine dining restaurant. Um, for externship, he worked at a certain restaurant. The owner there decided to start a restaurant with him, and it was a really nice fine dining restaurant. Now, Chef Scott loves the hustle of cooking and high volume kitchens, and he really specializes in Asian food, Asian cuisine, sushi. And here's some of the pictures of his work. So there's his info if you wanted to get in touch with him. You can also book one-on-one sessions with him too on Zoom. More on that later. All right, so let me go ahead and stop sharing here. All right, so we'll move along with the rest of our chefs. I'll start us off. My name is Chef Brandon Esparza, like I said in the beginning. I graduated from the Baking and Pastry Arts program here 3 years ago, so it was March of 2021. It was such an exciting time in the program. I learned a lot. One of the most amazing things that happened in that program for me was seeing the consistency in my baking skills, right? Knowing the different techniques, learning those foundations, so I can see the same results as I bake each and every time, watching my own personal development and professional development, achieving more complex and complicated types of techniques in baking items. Now, things weren't always smooth in the program, unfortunately. There were some things that I'd never encountered before. One of those things was macarons. If you know what macarons are, there's those little sandwich cookies, right? They're really fussy to make. Because of the whole, you have to whip up the meringue and fold it and deflate it, but don't deflate it too much. So it's a lot of different technicals parts of it. So one of the assignments was macarons in the pastry program. I, whipped them up, piped them out, let them sit, baked them. And when I took them out of the oven, they were flat. They did not rise. They were just flat as pancakes. And it was so discouraging. I'm like sending pictures to my chef instructor, freaking out, like, Chef, what happened? Because now I have to redo it, right? So they're able to help me and give me some tips and tricks on how to fix it. And so I whipped them up again and they were perfect the next time. I made like I think they were eggnog macarons. So I made like a spiced French buttercream for the filling. Um, really good stuff. So don't be afraid to make things more than once. It sometimes happens. And inform your chef instructors along the way. If something doesn't go right, that's totally okay. That's what they're there for. Message your chef, tell them what's going on, and they can give you steps to troubleshoot. All right. Now, next up on tonight's lineup, we have Chef Stacy, and I'll pass it on to you, Chef. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Chef. My name is Chef Stacy. I'm a graduate, like it said, of the culinary program with my associate's degree. Um, I started school back in November of 2019 after a big life change of moving from Phoenix, where all of our kids were, to Dallas with just my husband. And, it's hard to be the new person older in life at, anywhere moving. I've got to make friends. So I said, oh, I'm going to go to school online so I don't have to leave the house. So I was still working, so traveling back and forth. So it can be done if you are working and have all the things going on. You just have to really prioritize your time. Um, so, when you wait 32 years to go back to school, some people think you're crazy. Your family says, but you're already a really good cook. But when I would like walk down the hall where my kids have multiple degrees and my husband has multiple degrees, and I have a high school diploma up there, they never made me feel less, but I always felt like I wanted to put something on the wall as well. So, being older, like I said, going back, I always said, if I go back to school, if I could go back to high school knowing what I know now, like it's so much easier to study. It's not that hard. There is no football games. There's no dances. I've got this made. So that was my goal, was to be a high honors graduate. I wanted to prove and be just as smart as everybody else in the family. Luckily, nobody else in the family can really cook. So I do have that on lockdown around here. But I at first trying to find out though how I'm going to work my week, because oh my gosh, there's a live session and then you've got to shop and you've got to prep, and it seems like there's a lot and it can be overwhelming at first. But and I did make things over and over because I did want to get that A. There's another story for another day, but I made 135 loaves of French bread just to get the 3 loaf recipe right. That's another one. But when you're having to get everything done and you keep putting it off, getting everything done on a Sunday or that one day, which Chef Brandon really stresses not to do, um, it's hard trying to get everything done in one day. You're shopping, and then you've got to, oh, I got to go back and watch the live session, and I've got to do this. Um, don't do that. When you get into your program and over these 6 weeks, trying to find a really good pattern that works for you. That is my biggest blunder, I think, was not having my time set up correctly. So trying to hurry, get everything done before I had to get back on an airplane and get back to Phoenix. And I ended up not being able to go back to Phoenix because I severed my finger. So I spent the day in the emergency room. I didn't get to turn in my assignment as early as I would have liked. So there was a lot of things. So that will really teach you not to rush, slow down, get everything done. There's plenty of time. We just have to be smart about it. And you have all of this 6 weeks to get ready. You're in the right place. And lean on us. Lean into it. We're here to help you. And that's it for now. We can talk more when you book a session. Chef Jason, I'm going to hand it off to you.
Thank you, Chef Stacy. I love those words that she sent on. I am Chef Jason. I am also a high honors grad. Who would have guessed? We are all the exact same thing. We loved school. We put all of our effort into school. I actually graduated as early as October of last year, which was crazy. Hasn't been that long. Technically, I stopped in April, but my graduation date was in October. And then I returned. As soon as I graduated, I really wanted to give back to students. So that's what made me join the Escoffier team, the tutoring team, because we really get to be the part that lifts you up as you go through your program. Like Chef Stacy said and Chef Brandon mentioned, we're all here to help. We are literally, we know the program, we know the ins and outs, we know what you guys are going through, even sitting right where you're sitting right now. I went through orientation. I know what you guys are facing, the nervous, the excitement, all of those different things. So I would say my biggest like success out of all of it and what I could pass on essentially is definitely get out of your comfort zone. And I'll give you a reason why that. Because I went to the plant-based program. I literally knew nothing about plant-based. I have been in this industry my entire life. I've cooked in professional kitchens my entire life. Worked for a food tech company for a couple years, but mainly stayed in kitchens. I literally knew nothing about plant-based. I wanted that degree, just like Chef Stacy said. I wanted to go to school. I put it off for years and years and years. So I finally did it. I came to Escoffier. Then for my externship, I got out of more of a comfort zone and I went to a baking and pastry shop. I went to a cupcake place. I'm the farthest thing from a baker, but I got out of that comfort zone. And circling kind of back around to how proud I was, it would definitely be that I helped this bakery put plant-based items onto their menu, plant-based cupcakes, that helped their clientele. So if I would say anything, as you guys go through this, all of us are going to teach you some things, but definitely get out of your comfort zone. Ask those questions. Go to those discussions. Do the best you can, because this is a learning environment as you go through. Even orientation, for instance, is a learning environment. There's so much here to learn. So get out of your comfort zone. Ask us those questions. Ask us how did week 1 go? How'd week 4 go? How'd the GE classes go? How'd all those little simple questions? That way, when you hit week 1, you literally hit the ground running. You feel comfortable. You know what you're going into. So a life lesson, just definitely get out of your comfort zone because it's fantastic on the other side. So I am joined by another chef, and I will let her introduce herself.
Thank you, Chef Jason. Hi, my name is Chef Suhalia. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. And I too am a graduate of Escoffier. I graduated in 2022 in the baking and pastry program. And I'm so excited to help you along the way. I have to say that this process is one of those things where you're daring to dream. You're daring to step out, like Chef Jason said, and get out of your comfort zone. I was a personal trainer for 25 plus years. And then after COVID, I decided to take another step and do something totally, completely different. And I love to cook and I love to bake. And by sitting there in COVID, watching Netflix and all these shows, I came across a show called Zumbo's Just Desserts. And I absolutely loved it. And I looked at that and I was like, it's creative and desserts and pastries make people happy. And I've always lived a life of service, and I always believe in making your vocation your vacation. So I was like, you know what? I can totally do that. I definitely want to try baking and pastry. So I looked online and I found the Gusta Escoffier's online program. And I signed up. And not but in 2022, I graduated with high honors. And I also had the opportunity to go to France and study for 3 months in a summer program at Ecole du Casse. And it was just such an amazing experience. Following school, we have to do an externship at the end of to get our diploma. And after that, I worked at the same place that I externed at. So it just led to so many different opportunities. And now coming full circle, being able to live a life of service too again, and coming back into the teaching role and helping. I'm so excited to help you through this journey. Remember that no question is too big or too small. We are all here to help you. Your chef instructors will help you along the way. You just, if anything, you just give them a call, text them, and they'll be there for you. And also start a community with your fellow students. I have such a great friend base and family base that I built with the students that I was in class with. And it's just such a great place to, you know, have a community so that you don't feel alone. Because if you're studying alone, you feel like, oh my God, what am I to do? You can just call them up and say, hey, how was that assignment? What did you do? And you can kind of get, you know, different ideas if you haven't, you know, already tried. Because like I said, we're all in the same boat, and, you know, you just have to enjoy the ride. So I'm excited for you. We're here to help you, and have a great day. Enjoy the live session.
Thanks so much, chefs and Chef Suhalia. That was great. I love hearing about your stories and experiences. So now that we've heard from the team, let's talk about orientation for a moment. What is Escoffier orientation? Why are we here 6 weeks or 7 weeks actually before your actual class starts? It's all because of preparation. Now, in a kitchen setting, prep is everything, right? If you're not prepped properly, your dinner service is going to be messy and sloppy. So it works the same way for culinary school. To academically prepare yourself before classes start sets you up for success later on. So you have the opportunity now to log into the eCampus and check everything out. Become familiar with how to navigate those pages. We have an orientation class page that models what your class pages will look like once you start. And we have tasks on there that we'll dive into a little bit later that help you become familiar with the technology you're going to use as an Escoffier student. So the benefits of learning online, learning from your home, not having to move anywhere to attend school. There's certain perks to that too, but there also comes a little bit of technology that you'll need to know so you can submit your assignments correctly and successfully. Now, congratulations for making it here tonight. Once you participate in orientation, complete those tasks that we'll discuss later, that sets you up for success. Students who do so are considerably more successful with conditional enrollment. That's the first 3 weeks of the program where they're getting more or higher grades and making it past that period and not getting dropped from the program. So the success from orientation and participating is there. We have the data to back it up. Now we have lots of things going on in orientation that you can be a part of. Live events much like this one. I'll actually let Chef Stacy tell us more about that. All right, Chef, off to you.
All right, thank you. So yeah, we have live events like this one tonight, and we also have some very important workshops. They're going to help guide you through the processes here and give you lots of opportunities to get hands-on experience and those skills to make sure that you are tech ready as well as academically ready to start your program, because it's really not that far away. That since we only meet once a week, that time flies by. So on Mondays, we have order up assignment submission. I suggest everybody take this. Even if you've got it, you might learn, you know, an easier way, or you might be turning in your narrative as a photo. Oh, wait, there's another way to do it. So learn how to do it, how the way it is expected, and then learn how to do it from your mobile device and learn how to do it from your computer. Learn how they can marry up together when you do your photos from your phone and your document from your desktop. there's a lot of tips and tricks and maybe some shortcuts, if you want to look at it like that, that we can help you be more efficient at. And then you can worry only about your passion, your cooking, your baking, and getting that ready to turn in. And then turning in will be a breeze. On Tuesdays, we have whipping up success, and that is going to be, that toggles back between two different topics. One is computer basics, and that's just really some basic computer lingo and what actual equipment are we using and why do we need to use it. And then Chef Brandon also goes over time management, which is super important. It is hard when we have families and lots of other commitments, work, and taking care of a home, and maybe taking care of parents, or anything else it is, your extracurricular activities that have become part of your life. Let us, now you decide to put school into it, so let us help you, show you how to make a good plan. Use this 6 weeks to play around and see what your schedule can be and how your schedule can work best for you using those little pockets of time. Chef Brandon has become a pro at that, and he always has some really, really good suggestions. And then on Wednesday, Chef Jason's going to help us and help you create crafting a delicious narrative. And this is really important because I want you to save that first narrative that you turn in from your week 1 and then compare it all the way to the last one. Those skills really happen so slowly that it's one of those things that you don't see happen until you actually go back and you look at, oh my gosh, I am writing, like, it looks like a menu. I look like a food writer. So take that, let us help you. We're teaching you how to taste, where to taste, how all of that works, and how you're going to spit out that culinary lingo and your chefy repertoire. So you're not using words like good, yummy, awesome, and delicious, because that describes the whole orientation team. And there's other words you can use. So also we have on Thursdays now our live sessions, and these are specifically on this date to mimic what is going on in your classes, your upcoming classes, your study halls, and your live sessions will most likely be on a Thursday. One will be in the morning, one will be followed in the afternoon. So we want to make sure that you start a good routine and you know that Thursday is my school day. I need to try and block that time out to begin with. And we have lots of good topics. We have lots of speakers that we bring in and special guests. So tonight, this is it. Welcome to Escoffier. You're one of us. You feature chefs. Look at you. You're all looking mighty fine. And then we have top tips for success. We're going to help you with everything that we have put into learning to make us successful. We're going to give it all to you for free. We're going to give you all of our advice, and hopefully you can find some bits of wisdom in there and apply them to your journey. And then support services. Now this comes at a perfect time in orientation. It'll be in week 3. And we're going to bring in the support service team. We're going to bring in career services. We're going to bring in financial aid and all of the things to make sure you know who to go to and where to go as questions arise as you become actual full-fledged students, because there's always going to be something that you need. And the more that you get into your program, they pull back and they're not calling you all the time. It's going to be your responsibility to check in with them. So we want to make sure you know who you're talking to and where to find them. And then week 4, this is where it really gets good. This is where the meat and potatoes happen. Sorry, pastry people, it's really meat and potatoes here. We split apart, and culinary and hospitality, restaurant management are going to go one direction and everybody else will go the other direction. And we are going to have a live chef demo from those respective camps. So you will get to meet one of the chefs. You'll get to see them cook in their own kitchen. You'll get to ask them questions, and they will give you a detailed recipe. And then we let you go home with that recipe. And then if you look on the recording page, you can always get what the other chef cooked as well. And then the next week we have Meet the Chefs. We try to do this as 2 different. Sometimes we come together. It just depends who's available. But we pit some chefs against each other. We play a little game, and we let you participate with them. and they give you a lot of information about how they started, what have they done in their career, and then how they want to reach out to you. They want you to ask them questions. So come prepared with questions that you've always wanted to ask a chef. We have lots of interesting chefs here. We have people who've worked in Michelin star restaurants. We've had people who've been on the Food Network, who've been cookbook writers, who've been curriculum writers. So we have a broad range of folks that we are going to give you easy access to. So take advantage of that. And then we round it all up with our trivia night. And that's basically where we're going to ask you, tell us what you know. Tell us what we've taught you. Show us what you've learned. We want to make sure that you're ready. And that you feel comfortable. So this is the perfect time, if you are having any trouble, to book another session and get that in before your classes start. Get in under the wire. Okay, Chef? And then these are the workshops, which I went over just a few minutes ago. So order up. Assignment submission is on Mondays with Chef Scott, and he will go over everything that you need to know to be proficient in submitting your assignment, either using 2 devices or your mobile device or your laptop device. And then we have Whipping Up Success with Chef Brandon on Tuesdays. Again, he will toggle back and forth between 2 different topics: computer hardware, computer topics, computer lingo, whatever you want to call it, and time management. And I really think that I think they're all important, at least to pop your head in once. And then Crafting Delicious Narratives with Chef Jason. That one is going to take you all the way through your course, and you're going to have access to these your whole entire time at school. And all you have to do is find them under the live session and recordings tab all the way at the bottom. It says live session recordings. Click that and you will get a best of situation. Okay. Let's go to Chef Jason. Hey, Chef Jason, what time zone are you in?
Well, I am in Central Time, and a lot of you students have probably seen times on the website, like what time do things happen in? Well, everything with Escoffier happens in Central Time. It happens in Central Time. So as you can see on this chart, we're in the yellow section. I'm essentially in Minnesota, so I'm in the yellow section. I am in Central Time. Just know that Escoffier also happens in that exact same time. So if you're on Mountain Time, Pacific Time, Eastern, you have to convert these. For instance, Eastern would be an hour ahead. So anybody on Eastern Time right now, you're probably sitting in class and it is 7:27 right now, or 7:28. Mountain and Pacific, you just go back 1 to 2 hours. So in the chat right now, because I want to get a good idea of where everybody is, see these emojis on the right side? In the chat, throw in what emoji you are. You're the heart for Eastern. Central is like the face. Mountain's clapping, and Pacific is the big thumbs up. So I see Mountain Time, I see Central Time, I see some Eastern. Those are nice. A lot of Easterns just came through, which is nice. And just be sure when you're looking at anything on Escoffier, there is a place where it will tell you the server time, which is Escoffier, and it will tell you your time. You can typically find that in the top right of your class page if you've ever been there. We'll show you that as we go through kind of our presentations, things like this. But just know, always do the math. Everything happens in Central. Be sure to add an hour or subtract an hour or 2. Obviously, Mountain Time is subtract 1. Pacific is subtract 2. So just know we need to convert to show up. If you ever get the warning on your live session that says, I can't join, and you message a chef instructor, and it is 5 o'clock and you were supposed to be there at 6, it is probably because of that time difference. So just be sure to check that, because everything, literally everything, happens in Central. Though, to not confuse you, when you book a tutoring session, it does happen in your time, but we could talk about that later on. So who are your orientation chefs? Well, we are all high grads. We are all high honors. We've all lived the experience. Just know too, as you go through orientation, you're going to get assigned an individual orientation chef that literally is assigned to you, does the outreach to you, shares reminders, reaches out about different things that are going on, helps you complete those tasks. There is a ton that we help you as an individual as you go through. So we're going to reach out to you by text or call to share updates or reminders. We're going to provide support because that's the number one thing. Maybe you just need that little bit of support. Maybe you need that phone call. Hey, chef, I still need to finish financial aid. I don't have the number. Do you have it? Yes, we can definitely help you. We provide that support as you go through orientation. We're here for 6 weeks together. We're here to make sure that you hit week 1 running. We're here to make sure everything is finished and finalized before you get ready for your program. Also, just know we celebrate with you too as well. We're your biggest fans. We literally have a spot on your class page every single Monday that congratulates you because we love to see students get those done, get in there, make sure they have everything done, and be ready. So if you guys can, save the direct numbers that text you. There's going to be a message that says, welcome to Escoffier. I want to introduce myself. I am the orientation tutor or chef. Save that number. Reach out to them directly. It could be any of us. Some people in here have probably seen my name pop up, seen Chef Brandon, Chef Stacy, Chef Suhalia, Chef Scott. Save that number because it will be the one contact you can always get a hold of in case you need anything. You can also meet with us for one-on-one tutoring sessions. It doesn't have to be just the individual that reach out to you. You can reach out to any of us here in the tutoring team. Just know that we are all a resource for you, but we'd love to meet our students. So definitely book those one-on-one sessions, and we'll kind of throw that tutoring link back in there again here shortly. But definitely take advantage of those sessions because we can answer questions. We can literally go over anything, and I'm actually going to go it right now. So what are these tutoring sessions? Well, we're here to help you complete those tasks, those orientation tasks. That task 1, doing that quiz, ordering your chef coat, which is task 2. Be sure the chef coat, that triggers all your other stuff getting sent to you as well. So that one's really important. And then task 3, I would say, is the most important because it shows you how to submit an assignment. It is literally the most important because it's exactly what you're going to be doing when you get to your program. You're going to know how to submit an assignment. We can teach you on the technology that you need for online students, being an online student, being here at Escoffier. We can help you fill out that narrative in that flavor wheel. Like Chef Stacy said, I have a crafting delicious narratives workshop. So you could either meet one-on-one or you can go to those workshops and take advantage of those. You can also do if you just want to book a session for questions. Hey, I don't know what I'm in for. Where can I go? Hey, I don't have my login. How can I get in? There is a ton of questions that we can help you answer. So how does it work? Well, that little link that we threw in the chat, that link, essentially, it takes you to our site where you're going to pick the best time and day that works for you. Essentially, you go through the process of selecting a chef, or you can view all of our times, which will give you the best time available. And then you go through and you pick a time and day that works best from the schedule that you selected. Then you go through, fill out some information, and then you have to agree to the policies. So there's a bunch of policies when we go into our tutoring, form. There's a bunch of policies. It's just making sure that you're reading it, you're confirming it, you're canceling appropriate, which is huge because we get so busy sometimes. We want to make sure that we open it up to students if we have to. And then there's a wonderful one about if you miss a session, there could be counted as a no-show. Just be sure that you're showing up to these, you're confirming these appointments because we want to help you the best we can. Also, when you get these and you book these sessions, check the reminders, the emails and texts, because they're going to send you reminders and also the link to join. Just know to set aside some time, about 30 minutes, because these are lovely 30-minute sessions that we have. So try to show up right at the very beginning too as well, because I'm telling you one thing, and all these chefs can tell you, 30 minutes flies by. It flies by. So definitely book these sessions, take advantage of them. And then lastly, I just want to piggyback off of Chef Suhalia, Chef Brandon, Chef Stacy, and saying find peer to support you during orientation. You might meet a ton of students in orientation. Find somebody you can relate to. because like they said, like these other chefs said, it can become extremely isolating being an online student. Essentially, you feel like you're on a tiny little island out in the middle of nowhere doing this all by yourself. But just know, I mean, our last term, what do we have? Like 2,000 students that are joining us that are starting literally yesterday. Those same 2,000 students are all on those tiny little islands with you too as well. So just find that peer support. It can be students here at Escoffier, it can be family, it can be neighbors, friends, anybody who can help you through this orientation, celebrate the successes. Just know too, we celebrate the successes with you, but have that person that you can reach out to, the one you, if you get stumped on someone, you can talk to. Also, I would say this carries over into your program too as well. Have that support system. Chef Suhali said she still touches base with people. Chef Brandon, I know for sure because we tell his story all the time. He has students that he reached out to. I do. Chef Stacy probably does. There is a ton. Chef Scott, for instance, they all have connections that we made. So definitely do that as you go through orientation, and you'll build those friendships into your program. So I've shared a ton. Now what we're going to do is I want to pass it to Chef Brandon. We're going to show you a couple little things that we do during orientation.
All right, everyone, we're already towards the end of the night. It's been such a great informative time. We're going to end with some orientation tasks and orientation activities. Okay, so there's 3 tasks you want to do to fast track your progress throughout your program. Task 1 is getting to know Escoffier. There's a really brief lesson and a 6-question quiz. You can take that up to 3 times, by the way. So get that one done. Task 2 is ordering your chef coat, which also triggers the shipment of your toolkit and the rest of your uniform. So you just select a size, click submit, and done. They're really easy. The last one is submitting a practice assignment, and it's just that, practicing how to turn in your work so you know the type of technology we use to upload your assignment pictures, your cooking or baking pictures, as well as filling out what's called a narrative production sheet, which is just the paperwork you do for each assignment. You just fill in the questions, you make a copy of our template, fill in the questions, and turn in that document with your pictures. So doing that prepares you for class, well, because you'll know how to turn in your work. You can't get very far in a program without knowing how to turn in assignments. So that's the purpose of task 3 there. This fast tracks your progress. You can skip hours of headache and frustration trying to figure out how to do it on your own. You have weeks leading up into your program to work out that skill now, and you have a team behind you ready to assist you with this process. As far as activities go, they're designed to help you engage with your peers, like Chef Jason was saying, finding that peer support and that group of people you can connect with, and having fun with food while you wait for class to start. So for one, we have our discussion topics. It's a forum on the class page. I'll show you how to get there here in a few. The chef posts a question, you click reply, answer to the question. It's really easy to do, and it's actually one of the graded activities once you start your program. So you're building those habits now, so you're successful later. All right, those habits for success. And then challenge yourself by making it a goal to reply to at least 2 classmates who've also posted in there. We have different forms in there to introduce yourself and just get that conversation going. And then in addition to these discussion topics, we will have a weekly chopped challenge. So this can replace your task 3 practice assignment. Starting next week, we're going to announce our first theme for the chopped challenge. Let me know in the chat if you watch Chopped, that TV show. It's kind of like that, where they're given a box or a certain set of ingredients, and they have to create something with that. It's similar here, except virtual. We're going to give you a theme, and you have to make something or take pictures of something related to that theme. Now, no cooking is required for this chop challenge or the practice assignment. You just need 2 pictures of food. It can be food someone else made, something from a store or a restaurant, your favorite snacks, even a half-eaten honey bun, which I've received before. So anything like that works. They're fun and helpful. Now, these chop challenges will be optional, but it gets into the habit of turning work in each week, getting familiar with Google Docs, which is what we use for those production sheets, how to navigate the campus, uploading pictures. And again, it doesn't have to break the bank to participate. You can take pictures of anything, right? If you're out and about and find something related to the theme, You just need 2 pictures. Okay. So first theme reveal next week. And then I love what Chef Stacy put in the chat. I'll say it here for the recording. No screenshots from Google. Okay. Don't plagiarize photos, of course. Like download something from Google and say, oh, look what I made. You know, claiming that picture as your own. We won't accept those types of pictures. So they have to be your own photos. Just you don't necessarily have to cook for those pictures. Okay, let me quickly show you how to access this class page just to kickstart your journey here. Let's go here, here. Okay, so from a browser, the website you want to go to is portal.escoffier.edu. Just click inside the website bar up on top and type in portal.escoffier.edu. That is the website you want to log into to access this type of information that we've covered all night. It'll take you to our login screen. Just click sign in. Once on the student portal, it's the general hub for all things Escoffier. To find the orientation tasks, live sessions, you want to navigate to eCampus, which is on the left side. There's a red panel here. I'm going to click eCampus and then click eCampus in the drop-down list below. This takes me to my classes. So then I can find the orientation, and later on, I'll find the classes that I'm starting once enrolled. All right, I have a list of courses here. You'll see some much like this. We're looking for one that's called orientation. It looks like a card or tile that says orientation. The abbreviation for it is OR 120. Now this one is culinary, but yours might say pastry or plant-based. Click on view course. And that'll pull up your class page. All right, the layout for these orientation pages are identical. So get familiar with this. Scroll through, click on everything, watch the welcome message. Live sessions, you have backgrounds here, course quick links. There's the link to the narrative and production sheet that you need for your assignment. Make sure to go in here to course quick links, click on narrative production template, and fill out your copy for your assignment. Okay, this is where to find it inside course quick links. There's also tutorials here as well, and a link to create your student ID. All right, here's the instructor announcements and Q&A section. If you click there, there's a little forum so you can introduce yourself. There's also the discussion topic that Stacy posted. So you just click on the discussion topic and see what Chef Stacy posted. What are you excited to learn? All right, why did you choose Escoffier? Let us know. You just click reply and then type out your reply there. Easy. Down below is where you'll find the tasks. There's little tiles. You just click on the tile to expand it and then click the content. I would go read my lesson, then come back and do the quiz. Same thing for the chef coat and the practice assignment. Just click on the tile to open it. And then by clicking submit your practice assignment here, you'll go in there so you can upload your 2 pictures and turn in that narrative document. Go through this. There's a lot of info here. If you ever need to reach out to us, there's a contact us page. There's also our information at the bottom. You can send us a message here or an email. The chefs are on here as well. So stay in touch with us. Let us know. Live sessions and recordings. If you want to go back and watch this to review some of the info, go inside this tile. There's links here to join the workshops or the live sessions on Thursdays. And there's a link here for live session and workshop recordings. Click there to find all the recorded sessions. If you happen to miss one, not a problem. Watch the recording later and catch up on anything you've missed. Okay. Up on the top, you have your messages and your notifications. So you can go in there and click the gear icon here to alter your notifications or customize them how you want. So especially for notifications, how do you know when you submitted an assignment? How do you know when it's been graded? Those come through notifications. You can choose 3 different options. You can have them sent to your phone, have them sent to your email, and or have them sent to you through the website. So you have to be typically logged in to see those notifications. I would turn them on for the phone and email just in case. All right, so those are notification preferences. All right, and that's just a general overview of the class page. The main sections are course quick links, and you just need to scroll down to find the tasks below. Um, we'll show you again next week, but a little lower on here, there's a bar to book tutoring and also a link for the Chop Challenge themes, which starts next week. So come by next Thursday and we'll get those Chop Challenges started for you. All right, let me go ahead and pull up another slide here. There we go. All right, Chef Stacy, we have some time left, don't we? Why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit more information here to round out our evening and close it out. So orientation countdown. Now we like to do this because it gets you guys pumped up. You can see it in black and white and a little bit of red. That orientation tasks are due in 6 days. Now that means that we try to get you on the schedule of knowing when things are due. That way, you don't have to rethink things when it's time to get to your program. So we try and stick to that schedule. If you need help though, anytime, please do reach out. So 6 days, 5/29, you're going to need to get those orientation tasks in. And then access to your first class is only 46 days away. I know, 46 days away. It seems like when we say it's like 5 weeks or 6 weeks, it's a long time. But since we meet only once a week, you're going to see that time just fly by. And, again, we need to make sure you're ready and that you're feeling good about it. I know there's probably most of you here are probably feeling good, but you might have a little bit of apprehension or a little bit of anxiety. Totally okay. It happens. But you're going to get really, really comfortable. I promise. And then your first live session with your program and your first chef instructor is only 50 days away. So that Independence Day, when it hits on July 4th, is going to be the start of something new for you guys. Okay. And then we are going to go and we have this little slide here, which is plan your week. And we try and break it up a little bit. So you have your live Zoom events that are always at 6 p.m. Central. So just remember that 6 p.m. Central, you can always join 15 minutes before. And then these are our live session topics that are coming up. And then we have plan your week. So what should you do this week? Explore that class page, open it up, get in there, click on everything, try and open everything. I dare you to try and break that page. No student has done it yet, so don't worry about clicking on something and it goes somewhere. If you break it, let me know, but I don't think you will. And then complete the 3 tasks. Try, give everything a try. Don't be worried if you get feedback that says you're missing your narrative or your narrative is private or you turned in videos instead of photos or you only turned in 1 photo. Make an appointment. We'll straighten out where you went off and we'll get it all taken care of. This is where you want to learn to do it. So give it an attempt and then make an appointment if you want. Attend a workshop. There's plenty of workshops to tell you exactly what to do. And then participate in those orientation activities. Come get familiar with us. Let us know you by first name. Make an appointment. Respond to our text. We are real people. We are not sending out AI messages. All of that is coming from us. So engage. We want to talk to you. All right, we have a couple little things left to do. The last one, okay, so we've started something new. We want to give something to you guys. And so we are going to every week show you this recipe card. And then at the end of the 6 weeks, all of these kitchen utensils or tools will be gone and you will see the recipe that we are presented to you. Now these are recipes that are all of ours, not necessarily something you would learn at school here. These are all tried and true, either made up by us or taken from one of our favorite chefs and we've adapted them to fit us. So we're giving you opening our recipe box to you. So come back each week and then see if you guys can guess what it is. I mean, this one looks like it's pretty easy to see what it already says, but it's fun to learn something at the end, and then we'll probably try and make it here at some point. We all like to challenge each other, especially with pastry. I'm gonna hide for that one, but yeah, so come back and then let's go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, take a screenshot right here. This is one of those moments where Chef Brandon said to take notes. So write down these phone numbers, take a screenshot, even better. Get your phone, take a picture, and then plug these numbers into your phone. If your power goes out or your internet is down, you're going to want to make sure you have some way to get a hold of somebody, because one of you is going to wait until the last minute, probably from no fault of your own, to get your assignment in. Something's going to happen, something's going to be late, and you're going to need to reach out to somebody. So make sure you have those numbers on hand. So we'll leave this up for just a second. We are also going to put a survey in the chat, and there we go. Thank you, Chef. And that is, we want you all to go ahead and fill that out. It's totally anonymous, but that is how we get better at things right here and take your advice on a lot of things. But I'll let Chef Brandon finish up on that.
All right, so you've done it. You've completed your first live session at Escoffier. Congratulations, you're one step closer to achieving your academic goals and starting your programs. If you have any questions, comments, want to say hi, need help with anything, email us. Our orientation is orientation. Our email is orientation@escoffier.edu. That's orientation@escoffier.edu. We want to hear from you. So like Chef Stacy said, fill out that survey. Let us know how tonight's session was, what you want to see more of in these sessions, because we'll change it up for you guys if you're asking for specific things you want covered in these live sessions. All right. Well, it was a pleasure and honor to get to meet each and every one of you tonight. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy lives to join us for our live session. I hope to see you guys in more workshops and sessions to come. And of course, if you need anything, let us know. All right. Good night, everyone. We'll see you.